May become preeminent. He is expected to have enthusiasms. Enthusiasms.
As Bitcoin and Ethereum rally, enthusiasm increases. But will the bears have the last laugh? All that and more on this week's video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, looking at Bitcoin, as you recall, we broke out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern a couple days ago. Our ultimate price target here is $35,600. We've come quite a bit of the ways there. We've gone as high as $34,800 so far. So, 70, 75, 80% of the way, I guess more like 70% of the way to the price target. Still some work to do, but we're making some nice progress. But let's check out how things are looking, say, on a smaller time frame to see if we're going to continue this momentum up or whether there's any sort of breakdown we need to worry about. So on the 1 hour chart, it looks like we're forming a descending channel. So yeah, that's a pretty clear descending channel on the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. And this is a bullish pattern, so it's just a question of when we actually break out of it. We should break to the positive, 90% of the time. But we don't know when that's going to happen, how far down this channel we're going to go before we break back up. When we do break up, hopefully that's the momentum we need to reach the ultimate price target for this inverse head and shoulders, which is close to 36,000. But here on the 1 hour, you can see we're sort of falling into the EMA ribbon. This is a good test. Let's see if we can stay above the bottom of the ribbon here, which is around 33,700. But as long as we're within this, that's fine. It's just a question of how far down this wedge, this channel, we fall before we break up. Looking at price on the 4 hour, you can see we're well above the EMA ribbon. So again, to me, it makes sense that we might drift down a little bit lower to sort of test the support of this EMA ribbon. The top of this ribbon right now is around 33,370. So we actually have quite a bit of room to go to kind of retest this support if need be. And on the daily, you can see Bitcoin still has not reached the top of the EMA ribbon on the daily. And that's a huge thing we're looking for because we haven't seen a close above the EMA ribbon on the daily chart since May 11th. So when that happens, it's going to be significant. And we're not quite there yet, and that's fine. Looking at the RSI, the Relative Strength Index for Bitcoin, you can see we've been above 50, which is positive because Bitcoin has not actually been above 50 since mid-June. And that was a brief little time above 50. Really, we haven't been above 50 for any kind of sustained period since the big drop in May. So we're looking to see if we can build on this momentum, stay above 50 for 2, 3, 4 days to confirm this momentum up. What we don't want to see is another rollover down, which might indicate we're, again, going to retest the lows. So overall, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin here. I think we're seeing potentially a retest of the top of the EMA on some of these charts. But we shouldn't expect we're just going to zoom right up to 36,000 right away. And I think some sort of consolidation or even slight path down, as long as it's not a major path down, is going to be healthy here. All right, for Ethereum, as you recall, we had this descending channel, this falling wedge pattern we broke out of. And our target for that breakout was the top of the wedge around 2180. We've already met that price target. But then we were talking about how we also saw this other bull flag pennant that had formed, and it looked like this. And we saw a breakout from that, and the price target there was around 2220. You can see we've already come pretty close. We're right around 2200 here. So we're already within 10% of the price target for that bull flag pattern breakout. So These two breakouts both look really good. Looking at the 4-hour chart for Ethereum, you can see that we've seen a nice run up here. We're well above the EMA ribbon, and it might be a good time to retest the top of this ribbon to make sure this is a valid move up. You can see we came up here, we saw a push back down to sort of retest this ribbon, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see another sort of push back down again just to retest this ribbon before we move higher. So on the 4-hour, that's around the $2,100 mark. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a price drop down to those levels before we move higher. Of course, if we see a continuous push down, then we have to watch things a little bit more. Looking at the 1 hour for the EMA ribbon, you can see we're still within the EMA ribbon here. And it would be nice if we can keep staying above it. So any kind of close below might be the first sign of weakness here. It's still not the end of the world if we dip slightly below. I'd put more emphasis on the 4-hour chart here. So for me, a bounce off of 2090 would be healthy still. On the daily chart for the EMA ribbon, you can see we actually closed above it for the first time since June 3rd. So that was awesome. But the question now is, are we going to reconfirm this breakout or dip down lower? Because the last time we broke above on June 3rd, we kind of immediately fell back down, and that was another start of another decline. So today's pretty crucial. Are we going to confirm a price point above the EMA ribbon? Are we going to start falling back down again and getting some consolidation going, or potentially another dip down towards the lows? But either way, from my standpoint, seeing some sort of correction down towards the $2,100 mark, or 2090, I should say, dollar mark, isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world before moving higher. So overall, I'm still bullish on Ethereum. I think unless we see a price move below, say, 2090, I might start getting a little bit concerned that maybe we're correcting again, or at least consolidating a little bit more before moving higher. But overall, I think it's still a very bullish looking pattern. Now, having said that, on the 1 hour chart, you can see some potential danger points here. So this could be construed like this. And like this, you could see kind of a rising or ascending channel here. And if this is accurate, then this could be the start of a breakdown. But again, for me, as long as we, especially on the 4 hour, if we can stay above this 2090 level, I'm not going to be too concerned. If we do break down, then we have to be concerned that maybe we're going to test the bottom of this channel, so more closer to the $2,000 level here. So let's watch it. I would say I'm bullish to neutral right now, but if we break below 2090, really start paying attention that maybe it's part of a larger drop down towards the $2,000 level. All right, looking at the relative strength for Ethereum, it's actually looking pretty good. You can see we broke above the 50 RSI, and the 50 RSI is kind of like the really important level, as you can see here on this daily chart, that we've mainly been below the 50 since the big breakdown for Ethereum. We've had a couple times where we touched it and went slightly above briefly, but this is really the highest point we've been from an RSI standpoint really since the big breakdown in mid-May. So this is really good. The question now is, are we going to kind of fall back over again like we did here, or can we maintain positive momentum above the 50 RSI? That's why today and tomorrow are really critical for Ethereum. Let's see if we can maintain this momentum and avoid dropping down below the 50 RSI. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you liked it. Also, please subscribe and click the notifications bell. Also, please follow me on Twitter at HeartsCharts. I post there fairly frequently whenever there's any sort of change in the market. I can obviously do that much quicker than creating a whole video, so it's worth staying on top of my posts there on Twitter as well. And I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.